make sure that you have your belt, you have a blanket or a pillow or something substantial. If you have a bolster, that's great. And if you have a block, certainly could substitute that. So if you have that handy at home, I don't think the toilet paper roll will work as well for what we're going to use the block for today, but if that's what you have, we'll work with that. So as you come to standing, you can leave your props off to the side and start with some bouncing, some rebounding here. This is a really nice way to settle our nervous system in at the end of the day. And it also, as we shake and allow our weight to go heavily into the soles of our feet, can be really grounding. And if you've had a day where you've been in your head a lot because you had to concentrate, or there was a problem to solve, or you were looking for something that got lost in the house, right? Could be you want to get out of your head and a little more into your body. Now let's start to do some side to side swinging. Again, this is really nice for our nerves. And then take your time, no rush, and let your eyes gaze from one side of the room to the next. So there's something called an orienting response. Again, this helps our nervous system kind of switch from that being on fight or flight mode into more of a rest and digest, ready for sleep. Okay. And begin to slow down your swinging, coming towards center. Readjust your feet. You might find Tadasana here. You might soften your gaze for a moment or close your eyes. Take a breath in. Exhale again. Feel your weight going into your feet as we start to release the day. Do that again. A breath in. And exhale, soften into your feet. Let's start to move. So as you inhale, reach the arms out and up. You might choose to lift your gaze. And then let the arms come into a cactus and turn to one side. And it doesn't matter which side you go to. As you inhale, reach your arms up overhead. You can take your gaze up. And then exhale, take that cactus twist to the other side. As you come back to center on the inhale, this time as we exhale, we're going to swan dive forward. Right? Draw the belly in. Fingertips are going to come towards the floor. If they don't reach the floor, let them rest on your shins or your thighs. As you inhale, lift up halfway, and your hands, again, might be on your shins. They might be higher to create an L shape with your torso. On your next exhale, draw the belly in. Let the upper back soften towards the floor. Bend your knees as much as you need to. And now with your inhale, lengthen through your spine. Use that strong core to rise back up to standing, arms reaching up to the sky. And then exhale, arms by your side. Let's move that through that flow 2 more times. So as you inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, we're going to take that cactus twist. Move nice and slow. Let it be almost a meditative dance here at the end of the day, so that you're really mindful of how your body's moving. As you come back to center, next we're going to swan dive forward. Right, nice long spine as you bring the crown of your head towards the floor. Inhale, lift up halfway, hands to shins or thighs, create that L. Exhale, soften, relax your back. Your chest might rest on your thighs. And then inhale, lengthen your spine, reach the arms out, reverse swan dive back up overhead. And exhale, arms down by your side. And let's do that 1 more time. So when you're ready, inhale, reaching up. Exhale, cactus twist. Reaching up again. Twist to the other side. Reaching back up to the sky. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Feel that nice stretch in your hamstrings. Exhale, soften. And use your inhale to reverse swan dive. Come back up to standing, nice long spine. Arms overhead, and release your arms by your side. And give your shoulders a little bit of a roll here. They don't have to necessarily go in the same direction. And then step your feet wide on your mat. And we're going to be lifting the opposite heel. So inhale your arms out to the side, exhale here. And then as you inhale, lift your left arm and lift that left heel as you reach up and over to the right. So you feel that long line on the left side. And exhale, come back to where we started with arms extended. Let's do that 3 more times. So inhale, lifting the heel up, exhale back to center, move with your breath. So 2 more times. We'll stay the last time. So the next time you come into the pose, as you exhale, let your left heel come back down to the mat. Keep reaching up through your fingertips. You take a breath in, exhale, soften in your elbow, soften in the waist. Inhale, press into the left foot as you reach those fingertips away. Exhale, release. 1 more time, reach. And exhale, come back to center and relax your arms down. Give your shoulders a little bit of a roll. Right? And pause for a moment. See how that's settling in your nervous system before we go to the other side. Right, so with feet still wide, we're going to inhale the arms out to T. Exhale here. Your next inhale, we're going to reach up and lift now the right heel as we reach that right arm across. And exhale back. Arms wide. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale back to center. Make sure you're drawing the low belly in on your exhale. Inhale, reaching, and you might look up. Exhale, low belly supports, and complete that exhale. This next time we're going to stay. So the next time you come up, as you exhale, lower just your heel and take 3 breaths here. So inhale, lengthen, press through the right foot. Exhale, soften. Inhale, reach. Exhale, soften. 1 more breath. And as you exhale, come back to center. Release your arms. Step your feet together. Right, shake things out. Whatever you need. And then take that momentary pause to see how that felt. Right. We're going to make our way down to hands and knees. So if you need anything underneath your knees, extra padding, I happen to be on a carpet, so I have a little extra padding kind of built in, but if you need that extra layer, by all means, grab a cushion or something to give yourself a little bit more support. And let's come onto hands and knees into tabletop. And this is a familiar flow. So your hands can be a little in front of your shoulders, so you have some space. So as you inhale, lengthen the chest forward, right from the crown of the head to the tailbone. Exhale, draw the belly in, bringing elbows to the mat, hips back towards heels. Make sure that your toes are flat. Inhale, come back into table. And you're welcome to go back to child or to curl your toes and come into a downward facing dog. So we're going to do that 3 more times. So inhale to table. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, table. You can go back to child's pose or down dog. Last round. Inhale, table. Exhale, child's pose. Back to table. You can do child's pose or down dog. Take a breath or 2. Doesn't matter whether you're in down dog or child's pose. And if you're in down dog, then bring your knees down. Come rest in child's pose for a moment. And then walking your hands back towards your knees, let's transition over onto our backs. We're not going to stay here very long. So come onto your back. Make sure as you come onto your back that you have your props close by so you can grab them when needed. So your blanket, if you're using a block, your belt, we'll be using those in a couple of moments. So as you make your way to your back, walk your feet out towards those long edges of your mat. So you have a lot of space between your knees. And then bring your arms in front of your chest, holding opposite elbows. So I like to think of this as being like a washcloth pose, right? You bring out a washcloth. So take a breath at center. And as you exhale, your arms will go one direction and your knees will go the opposite. And let your head go wherever it decides it feels want to. It might decide it wants to be with the knees or with the arms. use the inhale to engage the core and bring arms and knees up to center. And then exhale, go to the opposite side. So do that a couple more times to each side. We're not looking for any particular number here. And we're trying to slow down because it's the end of the day. So we want this to be a more meditative, slow movement, mindful of what you're feeling in your hips and pelvis. You may, right as you go to the side, really press the trailing knee towards the floor to get a little more opening in the front of the thigh, the quadriceps, at least if you had a lot of sitting in your day. And then come back to center, release your arms by your side, walk your feet back in towards each other. And take a breath here. All right, with arms at your side, extend your right leg long on your mat. Toes will be pointed towards the ceiling. As you inhale, lift that long right leg up towards the sky. And then exhale, moving through the whole exhalation, lower it down, and you might choose to hover the heel over the floor rather than touching down. Do that again, lift it up and lower it down. If you'd like to play with the position, you might choose to point your foot as you take the foot up and flex as you take it down. So do that twice more. Your choice as the foot position. This will be our last one. And the next time your foot comes down to the floor, relax the leg, slide the heel in. So now both feet are standing on your mat. Take a breath here. Let's take that same sequence with the other leg. So you're going to slide the left heel out. And as you inhale, lift the leg up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, lower down. And if you want to do that point in one way and flexing the other, again, there's no magic to pointing up and flexing down. Maybe the other feels better to you. Make this your own. Let's do this at least 3 more times. So take your time. There's no rush. And depending upon our breath and the speed at which we're moving, and the time that we are all completing this, we might complete a different number. Let's do that one more time. And the next time your heel comes down to the floor, relax the leg, slide it in towards you, right? And let it rest there. Take a breath. Now bring your right thigh in towards your chest. You can bring your hands around the front of the shin or the back of the thigh if your knee is sensitive. And take some slow circles with the right thigh in one direction. And then take a few in the other. And bringing your thigh to stillness, extend through the knee so the foot reaches up towards the ceiling. And then bring the ankle to rest on the left thigh. So we come into that figure 4 shape, right? Ready for reclining pigeon. Now you're welcome to stay here, pressing the thigh away. And if you have the flexibility, I encourage you to bring the left thigh in towards you and bring your hands around the back of the left thigh. So you're drawing now both legs towards your chest. If you find that your head gets tilted back, bring that blanket or a pillow underneath your head. Or perhaps keep your foot on the floor. And here you might want to add some movement. So use your hands to take that left thigh in some small circles. That'll help to open up into the glutes on the right side. And if you're circling, take a few the other direction. Come to stillness. Take a breath here. And then if you'd like, as you exhale, bring your face up towards your legs and exhale, release your head down, release that left thigh, foot to the floor, extend the right leg up to the sky and lower it back down to your mat. You can bend that knee, both feet standing, take a breath here and notice any differences, any difference in sensation you feel from right leg to left leg. Let's take that same sequence now to the left side. So bring the left leg in. Remember, we can hold around the back of the thigh or the front of the shin. Let's start with some circles. If holding with both hands doesn't work, right, one hand on top of the knee, using that to circle might work better. Make sure you go both directions. So you're always feel free to adapt and adjust for what works with your body. Bringing that knee to stillness, extend the foot up to the sky, and then bring the ankle to rest on the right thigh. You can press that left thigh away and stay here. Or if you have the flexibility and it feels like that's what you want, bring the right thigh in towards your chest, interlacing your hands around the back of the right thigh. Take a breath or two here before you bring any movement. And then if you'd like to use your hands to circle that right thigh, remember the circles don't have to be very big here. You're going to notice it brings a lot of sensation into that left hip and glute. Make sure you take a couple circles the other direction if you've chosen to do that. And then coming to stillness, take a breath in, and as you exhale, bring your forehead up towards both legs. Exhale, release down, release. Right foot to the floor, extend that left leg up to the sky and lower the left leg down to your mat. And then you can bend the knee. Now both knees standing. Take a moment here. All right, grabbing your belt, bring your right ankle over the left thigh again, and bring your belt around the ball of the foot. And then as you extend the leg up to the sky, walk your hands up as far as the belt as you can so that your elbows are straight. Like, you can relax your arms. Now, you may find if your hamstrings are really tight that your leg is at a diagonal away from your body. That's fine. I'd rather you have your knee straight here so that you're getting some hamstring stretch rather than your knee bent and your thigh close to your chest or your belly. Because with the leg straight, you're going to get some stretch in the hamstring. So find that optimal place for you today. Right? We know that that changes. Take a breath or two here. If you would like a little bit more stretch and feel like you're not feeling much in the back of the leg, certainly press your heel towards the sky and bring your toes towards your face. That should bring a little more sensation. And now taking both ends of the belt into your left hand, bring your right hand, the thumb of your right hand, right to the top of that right hip crease. You can feel kind of where the bone is of the pelvis and the head of the femur, and press the thigh away. So you feel a length in creating a little space there. And now slide your left heel out long on the floor. So you have one leg to the sky, one leg stretching along the mat, foot is flexed here. And then begin to guide your right leg across your body. You're going to find that that right hip comes off the mat. And you might be able to take the foot to the floor, but if you can't, just go to that place that feels right for you. If you have a piece of furniture you can use, we're taking the leg across our body. So make sure you're going across. You can take the right arm out in T to help counterbalance if you like. Take one more breath here. This can be a big sensation into the outer part of the leg. And then bending that right knee slightly, bring the leg back up to the sky. Good. Now you're going to bring your right hand back to the belt. And we're going to come into happy baby here. So bend your left knee. Start with that foot flat on the mat. And then pulling your right knee towards the outer part of your shoulder. I'm going to come into half happy baby. Now, you may find you don't need the belt here. You could reach up and just grab the big toe. The belt can be nice. And it's an option. So you might find that the left knee kind of floats out to the side a little bit. Option is to straighten that left leg again along the mat. If that feels too intense, slide that heel in and stay here. This is an intense enough stretch without stretching the left leg long. Breathe. And then releasing that foot, lower the leg down to the floor. You can release your belt. And I suggest sliding the left leg out if you don't have it already, and take a stretch here. Stretch your arms and your legs away. You can point your feet, flex your feet, whichever you prefer. And then let everything soften, arms come back by your side, bring your feet flat to your mat. Take a moment here. Okay. So notice that right leg, left leg should feel a little different in sensation. All right, we're going to take the left ankle over the right thigh, and again, bring the belt around the ball of the foot. As you extend that leg up to the sky, remember, walk your hands up the belt so that your arms are long. So we're using the weight of our arms to bring a little sense of traction into the leg. We're going to breathe here. Remember, you can slide the right heel out if you'd like, but you don't have to. You can press the heel more strongly towards the sky and your toes more towards your face, or not. And then taking both ends of the belt in the opposite hand. So in the left hand, in the right hand, you're going to take your left hand to that hip crease now of the left leg and press the thigh away. Create a little space here. And then use your hand to begin to draw that left leg across your body. That left hip will come off the mat. It may come to the floor, it may not. There's no judgment here. If you want to take now that left arm out to the side as a counterbalance, your head can come to whatever position you like. So straight up or turned away from the leg. Like big stretch into a gluteus maximus here. Take one more breath. And then bending that left knee, use your belt to help bring the leg up towards the sky again. All right, you're going to bring your right foot flat again. Take the belt into that left hand, and we're going to bend the knee coming into half happy baby on the outside of this hip. You may or may not need the belt. So if you can let go of the belt and just hold the big toe with your thumb and first and second fingers, you're welcome to do that or use the belt. If you would like to slide that right leg out long again, I think that's another option here. You get there and say, well, that's a little too intense, or my low back is not liking that, slide it back in and let the knee go over it once, so it might want to flop out to the side to bring some balance to the pelvis. Take one more breath here. That was me assuming that you were breathing. And then release that foot, lower the leg down. You can let go of the belt and even take it off to the side. And I would suggest lengthening through both legs. Take your full body stretch again. Oh boy. And then soften your arms by your side, bend your knees, bring your feet flat to the mat once more. Take a breath here. All right, so grabbing your pillow or a nice thick folded blanket with your feet about hip distance apart, you're going to press into your feet and lift your pelvis enough so you can bring that blanket or pillow underneath to support your tailbone. So if this is a gentle, supported bridge, arms can rest at your sides. So take a few breaths here. Let your pelvis be heavy into the support and into the floor. We do a lot of stretching of hamstrings here. And your arms can rest at your side, palms down. Your next exhale, bring first one knee and then the other up towards your chest. You're not going to hold them. You're just going to use the legs. Your shins can be parallel to the floor. And you might stay here for a bit. If you were happy with feet on the floor, you're welcome to go back to that. You can stay here, or the next place you might choose to go is to extend both legs up towards the sky. So now we're in more a supported shoulder stand. And sometimes the supported shoulder stand can be a little too intense for the hamstring. So if it does, go back to right shins parallel to the ceiling. So find that place where you can stay for the next 5 breaths. Or there's no judgment as to the choice. It's actually wise and discerning to choose that which feels best for you today and is best for your body. Maybe tomorrow or Friday, this would be a comfortable pose, but if it's not today, no need to be there. So if your feet are towards the sky, you can bend your knees, coming back parallel to the ceiling. And let's all bring our feet down to the mat. Take a breath or two here. Still have the blanket or pillow under your pelvis. And then lift your pelvis, and instead of taking the blanket out, push it down towards your knees and your upper thighs so it becomes a support as you straighten your legs and come right into Shavasana. I'm going to come up to seated for a few moments as we finish up. But allow your arms to rest at your sides. You can take the arms a little bit away from the body and palms up. If that helps to open up through the chest. But if that really isn't comfortable, remember, this is your practice. Do what's going to be best for you, always. You're the expert. So stay right where you are. Right. Allow your body to let go into support of the floor. Let go of the day, good or bad, busy or quiet. See if you can release, knowing that the floor isn't going to let you down. It's going to hold you up. And you let go of effort here for the next 2 minutes. Allow the earth to support you. Take a deeper breath in and let it go. You are, of course, welcome to stay here as long as you like. But if you're ready, begin to invite those small movements, right? Fingers, toes, wrists, ankles. I always like to rock my head side to side, but take any movement you like here. Maybe you want to open your eyes and take a big yawn or a stretch. All about personal preference. And slowly begin to stretch and move, perhaps bending your knees and pulling the support out from underneath them so you can rock the knees side to side if you like. Be sure to roll to your side, not to quickly come up to seated. We've been laying on our backs for a while, so we want to be careful not to change in blood pressure too quickly. And notice how you feel at the end of your practice. And I'm hoping that that sense of release is something you can take with you no matter what the rest of the evening has in store. so that when you can eventually might shut down and climb into bed tonight, that you'll still have this sense of peacefulness to carry you into good night's sleep. So if you'd like to come to seated, please do. And as you do so, bring your hands to touch somewhere in your body, hands over heart, belly and heart, hands of prayer, connecting here. Take in a breath, gratitude for our body and the way it has helped you get through today and accomplish so many different tasks. Another breath for our mind, our intelligence, our ability to problem solve and create and plan. And finally, a breath for the spirit within you, right? That will live on long after our bodies cease to function. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Wishing you a pleasant evening and a good tomorrow. Namaste. Thanks, everybody.